Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Soccer, and joined by head coach Greg Henson. And coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Great to be back.
I know, great to be back at home this past weekend for a couple home contests, and nice to be at this point of the year where every game really matters in terms of the conference implications.
It really does. I mean, we're at the home stretch now. We've got 3 weeks of the regular season left, and it's really a tightly contested conference season for us, and really still anybody's ball game in terms of who's going to come out where and how the standings are going to, or the seedings are going to stand at the end of the year for playoff period pieces. So this conference this year, I say it every year, very tough, very parity driven, and can't be said even more than it is this season. So it's really anybody's ball game right now.
Of course, now this past weekend took on Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech, and kind of seeing these teams for the second time here in the go-around of the conference schedule.
Yeah, so we kind of hit the second half, right? And so, we'll see a lot of teams for a second time. We've still got a couple opponents down the road that we'll only play once this year, so we haven't seen them yet. But it makes it for a little bit more familiarity. But there's also some new wrinkles, and it's been a few weeks since we saw, Northern and Tech, and so they look a little different. We look a little different, but it's, we know our conference rivals well, right? So we kind of know what to expect, and I thought it was two good opponents that came in, and unfortunately we split the weekend, but was pleased with the result on Sunday and the rebound from Friday's contest.
As we go, we'll start with Friday's contest against Northern Michigan, and a team that came out and really played well against you, especially here early on.
Yeah, and Northern's really had our number. The last 3 contests that we played them, and they're a good team, good program, coached very well by John, and they do some things really, really well, and unfortunately sometimes it's the areas that we struggle in a little bit, and I think we had moments where we played well in the contest, but just not enough of them. They're a team that if you make mistakes and give them opportunities, they're going to punish you. They got some really dangerous weapons up front, and that's been the case both games this year. So, we get the opportunity, and if we're fortunate enough to see them again in the postseason, we'll be ready and looking forward to that challenge to get a different result.
Of course, this is one of those games where you didn't have a whole lot of chances offensively. Maybe would have liked to generate more scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job, with it. They possessed the ball well and moved it and kept the pressure on us. But there's a lot of things that, for some reason, that's I think Northern's living a little rent-free in our heads sometimes when we play them, and we caused ourselves as much trouble as they caused us, and they caused us a lot. So, we just have to be more patient on the ball and in the attack, and look to keep possession and not play as panicked as we did at times throughout this game. So, and I thought we showcased that at the end of the match when we brought on a lot of our second string, our reserves, and they did a fantastic job at the end and got the goal for us later in the game.
How nice was it to be playing here in the later part of October and having a beautiful weather out here for this past weekend?
Couldn't beat the weather. I mean, it was 60, 70 degrees this weekend, and light breeze, and just great fall days, and it could always be as a non-Michigan native and somebody from a little bit further south, I always say in Michigan, it can always be worse, right? So we'll take whatever we get and be happy with it. But yeah, you can't. This is some more early September weather than it is early mid-October weather.
You mentioned some of the kids that came in and really played hard at the end, and getting kind of rewarded for it here as Adam Burns gets the goal.
Yeah, once we fell down, fell behind 4-0, went to the bench and basically made a wholesale line change and gave some very deserving players an opportunity to step on the field and show they can do it in game action, and played well for the last 15 minutes. And I think we really kind of, did some really nice things, got a goal, great service, and great setup, possession-wise to get set up. Anna Thielen with a great service in, reached Carmody with the header back across the front, and Burnsy's there to tap in the goal. So it was a good ending to a bad day.
Of course, the good part about playing in the GLIAC, you lose the first one, but you don't have a whole lot of time to think about it. Right back on the field here on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think this is the highlight of the weekend for us. It's just the resiliency of the group to come back, 2 days later from a bad defeat, and be ready to play. And I thought we did a really good job with that here. Good combination play up front. Natalia Livens gets in behind, plays the ball in, and Izzy Barron's there to finish it, and a great strike and a great finish from her. I think the biggest thing for us in the game on Sunday is that we did what we didn't do on Friday. We looked to possess the ball, we looked to keep it, we looked to find opportunities to get in behind, through connecting passes to the midfield and things of that nature, and did, and then was able to defensively play strong, and Morgan got on the shutout on the day.
Morgan Filion right there with the save, and he took a 1-0 lead in the first half, and really able to kind of carry that through here into halftime. Had some other chances though, like this one right here.
Yeah, and again, just through the run of play, able to get players in behind. Got Brindley Bell. We missed her for a few games due to injury earlier in the season. Getting her back, she's such a threat coming down the left side of the field. Able to find her way in behind. And I think Morgan wasn't called on a lot in this game, but when she was there and able to make the play. And here's another opportunity where Bucky and Welchie combine up top, and probably need to take one more step maybe and get in the box there a little bit better. But here she does, right? Annie Hartley plays a great ball in. Welchie's able to get to the end line, get in around the back, finds Elliott Ford in the middle, and Welchie's there for the tap in for the second goal. So just a good team effort all the way around in this match.
Certainly built a 2-goal lead, and got to be pleased with the play of the defense in front of the net. Got some veterans that have played a lot of soccer for you right on the back end.
Yeah, so they've done a great job back there, and we really depend on them, and it allows us to play a young goalkeeper that she's got so many veterans in front of her, and that's where we're deepest in terms of veterans is in that back line, and we rely on them a lot from a leadership standpoint, and some other players in front, our center mids. We've got Ollie McMahon, Annie Hartley, two more KG veterans that have been through a lot and are doing great jobs for us. Annie's kind of holding it down in the middle of the park and running the show. So we're young up front, but we're definitely have the experience on the back line.
Kind of West Michigan week this week as you travel to Davenport here at the end of the week, and then host Grand Valley State coming up on Sunday. So two big kind of rivalry type games here in West Michigan.
Yeah, 100%, and it's not like it used to be, right? You know what I mean? It used to be that was the Davenport was the trap game, and when I first got to the Ferris, and you had to try to keep the team focused and not thinking too much about Grand Valley, but Davenport's beat Grand Valley. They just beat Northern Michigan. They're right behind us in the conference standings, and a team that we haven't beaten in our last 3 outings either. We've tied them 3 times 1-1 in the last 3, and so we're definitely hungry to go down there and look to get a positive result. But we know it's going to be a tough game. They're a very good team. They're very well coached, and they're playing really well right now. I think they're on like a 5 or 6 game undefeated streak or unbeaten streak. So we know it's going to be a tough match. And then once we clear Friday, then we'll focus on the Lakers as they come to town on Sunday. So definitely this time of year, it's one game at a time.
Well, Coach, congrats again on the win over Michigan Tech, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.